wanted to do this interesting video on a range of G-Shock watches from the $100 CasiOak to the G Steel all the way to the I think close to $3,000 MR-G 1000b in this case. G-Shock line is one of I think everybody's favorite line for sports watches because they really offer excellent wearability, comfort and durability with a lot of good feature set that are practical and useful, and these are the classic wear it and forget it watches for playing sports or hiking or whatever it may be. But many folks don't know that G-Shock line is a fairly expensive line, and there are high-end G-Shocks which bring with it the same things that a luxury watch bring in terms of finishing, attention to detail, the materials used, the overall quality of craftsmanship. I thought it'll be fun to kind of bring three of them together, which are, I would consider, three fairly popular models among watch collectors. Let's start with the CasiOak. It's a resin based watch which is practically weightless. It really does feel like it'll take anything, it'll take any sort of abuse. It feels really good on the skin. It's very easy to wear and comfortable on all wrist sizes, even on smaller wrists like mine. And the dial, yes, it's sort of like a blackout style dial, but there is enough contrast on the hands to quickly pick up on the time, and there is a light function to kind of use it in the dark as well. It's really I would say one of the easy recommendations under $100. But yeah, moving up the ladder though, looking at something a little nicer in the G-Shock lineup with a steel finish on the top. This is the G Steel. The cool thing with this is it actually has these polished edges which catch light really well, and there is a sense of depth to the dial, and the markers are quite nice. They are applied markers that look really cool, and this inner ring that is polished just gives a little bit extra pop to the overall watch, and it almost wears like a Hublot. It's a bit ridiculous to compare a $300-400 G-Shock to a Hublot, but it does sort of wear like a Hublot. But again, if you want a nice go anywhere do anything style watch, but find an all resin watch a little too simple, or maybe cheap feeling, want something with a little more personality, I'd say this is a pretty good pickup as well. And this is solar and also has a light function and all the usual chronograph and timer and alarm and all the things you usually get from a digital watch like this. So yeah, the strap is quite comfy, and again it works on smaller wrists as well because of the way the strap actually just drops down and doesn't stick out on the sides. It's my favorite watch obviously in a G-Shock lineup, the MR-G. Now what makes this special? Really, I mean, there is only so much I can show and describe in a video, but you would have to check these out in person and handle them to really get a feel for how much nicer they are than your regular G-Shock watches. Simply put, the dial finish, the markers, the case. The case is a titanium case. It just feels really good, and the finish on the titanium is top notch. The edging is precise. The lettering, just look at how well done it is and how accurate and precise everything looks. This is, you know, the industrial sort of futuristic look taken to the next level with you know, material finesse and craftsmanship. The links are all titanium as well, and again they are very nicely shaped. They feel excellent on the skin. The tolerances are superb. My only little gripe is that they are friction pins and not screws. I would have preferred screws at this price point, but the clasp is kind of neat. It's a very easy to use clasp, has a good lock mechanism, feels very secure. There is one micro adjustment, which is again not ideal. I wish there were a couple more, but everything feels very, very precise and well machined and well made. And personally, even the dial, I think, really pops. There is this gold ring on the inside which catches light and, you know, gives it a little more personality. And as you can see, just with a bit of light playing on the markers, they are already starting to give off that greenish, you know, color, and there's like a sort of floating look on the markers which looks very cool in person. And from a functionality standpoint, yes, it's again going to do all the usual quartz things, but this has Bluetooth and it pairs with your watch to get time synchronization, and it will automatically update the time wherever you may be. So as a travel companion, I would say this is a terrific watch in that regard, because you feel like you're wearing something special and substantial and really well made. And on the wrist, it just doesn't look like any other G-Shock. It has its own personality and appeal, and you can clearly tell in terms of just the visual look between the two how much more appeal the MR-G has over the G Steel. And it should, I mean, it's only fair that it does, because the price points are wildly different. I would highly recommend it if you're not a mechanical watch snob. You know, one thing I believe some of the watch geeks and collectors get fixated on too much are these mechanical movements and in-house movements, and they kind of lose track and lose sight of what are the other things that make a fine watch, right? The finish, the quality, the attention to detail, the dial work, the markers, the aesthetic overall, all of it matters. It's not just throwing in a mechanical movement into a watch that makes it a luxury watch. So in this case, I'd say if you're in the market for a nice, tough sports watch and you want the kind of functionality that this offers over, you know, mechanical movement, it's definitely worth considering. You know, compared to a $3,000 basic ETA watch, you know, I can name several advantages that this has over it. So that is kind of why I wanted to make this video, just to give a direct comparison, you know, between a regular G-Shock and something special. So I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.